Welcome everyone to Maple Ridge, home of the Super Turbo 701. Today is April 23rd and it is 2 days after engine installation has been complete. I'm just going to do a little walk around here and kind of show off this Viking engine and how it was installed. So first off, I'll just go to the engine. I didn't take the bottom cowling off it, but I just wanted to let you see the lines. It has very nice lines. It's a newer cowling. It's different than the original 701 cowling that I had. I'll show you a picture of it. The fuselage is squared off. It's kind of got that little bit of Concorde look to it. A little slower than the Concorde, but kind of got that. It flows really nice. I'll get a better picture. I can get a little farther from the other side. But we added 032 aluminum. It's non-structural. It's for aesthetics only and for the cowling to go on. The cowling comes off on and off on this really nice. It was mocked up really nice by Jan, and it came out well. The spacer is going to be gone. We don't need it, so that's going to come off, and the spinner and the prop is going to be whatever this distance is closer. Bring a little more weight aft, but we only had bolts to put it on to set the prop and the pitch and everything with the spacer in it. So Viking Aircraft is going to send me the proper bolts, and I will send that spacer back to them. So this, if you're new to the channel, this engine is a GM 1.2 liter turbocharged direct fuel injected engine. It's 3-cylinder, and it fits the front of the 701 really nice. It's a 140 horse engine. It's a little more engine than the 701 is used to. I think out there right now, 130 horse is one of the biggest engines that has been put into the 701 until just recently. Jan and Alyssa Eggenfellner have a 140 turbo in their 650, and they are putting the 140 turbo in their 701 that they're building. And on Viking Aircraft engines, Jan just did an engine installation in Florida on another 701 prior to coming up to upstate New York to work on this one, which worked out really well because things changed a little bit, over the year. I picked up the Firewall Forward package from Viking last spring, but a year ago, March. And some of the stuff has changed. It's evolved a little bit. The intercooler changed a little bit. The ring gear for the starter is new and different. It's lighter, by quite a bit lighter. And just other little things. Not a whole lot on the engine, just techniques and a way to put it in. So you've got the intercooler, which is mounted. It's nicely put in, plenty of room. There's actually going to be a cowling that's made for the intercooler and the shroud, and then the cowling will be cut out to incorporate so that the air can flow through that intercooler properly. This is the breather for the gearbox on the front. There's a breather hose that runs to that gearbox. It is right underneath there. Hard to see, but it's that fitting right there that runs up to that breather. And you don't add oil to this breather. This is just for expansion. Jan drills a small hole in the cap on the breather, and the gearbox holds 10 ounces of oil. It's got a nice little sight gauge right there so that you can see the cleanliness, the quality of the oil that's in there. And for the first 10 hours on this, actually it's every hour of operation for the gearbox. After each hour, it will get an oil change. So it'll take 10 ounces of oil every hour up to 10 hours. And I will be doing that. The fuel line comes in here. This is where the fuel line comes in, and Jan uses a piece of the fuel line that comes with the vehicle. It has a check valve. I believe that's what he told me in here. And then it comes into the high pressure side of it. I don't know a lot about that, so I'm not going to pretend to talk about it a whole lot. It's got the alternator. Everything's really nice and clean. There's a lot of room. No infringement on the cowling whatsoever. There is the turbocharger for this unit, and this turbocharger is water cooled and oil cooled, both. So then the turbocharger pumps its hot air through this line into the intercooler where it gets cooled, and then back into the intake. This is the Viking pass-through, which is very nice for passing all the electrical for the engine into the forward part of the cabin for hookup. I do have the Viking steel bungee installed in this. Viking Aircraft brought me the spacers to put on here so that I didn't have to have a stack of washers to adjust it. So that's done. And down in the bottom here is the coolant bottle. You can just see a little bit of coolant in the back of it. This engine takes approximately 2 gallons of coolant. It's waterless coolant, and we service the coolant through here to begin with. This is all capped off now, and I can actually add. It has gone down a little bit. We ran it. It's been burped out a little bit, so I will have to add coolant and bring it up to the proper level for the cold run on that bottle. The spinner has been mounted, the prop has been mounted, it's been set. The battery system is all really nice and clean. Jan does a really nice job doing this wiring, and I'm going to go around the other side and show the wiring. But first I'm going to show the dash, and I believe I'll go to the other side for that. Little disclaimer about my videos. I do raw video footage for my YouTube channel. I don't do a lot of editing, but I try to think about the content before I start. So just bear with me. So I took care of my panel. It's just a 3M carbon fiber look on the panel. I did that. This cutout was put in. So what I've got here is, this is the, and I'm gonna turn this all on now because I won't be able to tell you about it when it's running. This is the master switch right here for this. So this has, you turn the master switch on and it gives you a running voltage of your battery. So right now it's putting out 12.9 volts. Then up here, you've got your key switch to turn it on only. This turns the engine on, this shuts the engine off. Once you shut this off, the engine, all the power is cut. So this here is the switch for the engine monitoring system. The red alarm light is on. And it scrolls through fuel and oil, cool and gear, and you notice that the 12.8 volts on the voltmeter, and I've got an alarm light. It's because the alternator's obviously not turned on and running. Down here, you've got your EGT. This is air temperature leaving the turbo, and this is air temperature after the cooler. So this will be the hot one, this will be the cooler one. Your oil pressure scrolls, and fuel and oil, everything. It's kind of a nice setup. This actually has an hour meter in it. I can shut that red light off right now, cancel that out. Then what I have here is, I'll turn that off. This is the heater. This is for the heater. It's got a 3-position heater switch here. I'd have the, so that is all mounted in. This is an extra switch that I have. This is a fuel pump 1, fuel pump 2. and then this last switch is for the alternator. So that turns the alternator on. So anyways, that stuff is pretty cut and dried. Everything with breakers included. It came out really nice. So now we'll go up and look under the cowl, or under the top cover. I'm not taking it all the way off. I have a flashlight so you can see in there, and it's a really nice clean setup. The wire loom over there was set up so that that cover plate that has the electric cutoff and everything, all those breakers on it, there's room in that loom so that I can just service it through the dash. It's got enough room so it will come out and flop out, and you can go through the dash to work in here. This is the heater here. Right here is the heater is right there, sorry. That's all set up and been plumbed in. And that's the brains of the engine right there. That's all put in. The other side, I'm not going to take the cover up and go over there, but Jan does a really nice job with the wiring. There's no rat's nest in there whatsoever. It's really loomed really nice. And Jan actually does a video. I think he spent about an hour after the installation, and he went through this and basically pointed out every wire, every hose, where it goes, what it does. And that was more for my benefit than anybody else's, because that lets me know what every wire goes to without having a drawn schematic, which worked out really nice. Now we'll look underneath the airplane. I'm going to just go down underneath here, and you can see the plumbing for the radiator. It's all mounted in there really nice, and I'm happy with that. That should be a nice cooling system. Right now there's no thermostat in this engine. It's running free. There's no pressure, and I don't know if I'll go with a thermostat. I may end up making a louver to open and close the air intake on this, because what I'm going to have to do here is from the cowling here back to here, I'm going to make a piece of aluminum to box that in so that it actually looks clean all the way across. I'll make that transition really nice down in there so you won't see any of them hoses or the pipe, and I may end up coming up with some kind of louver system to put in that. All right, moving back, it's pretty straightforward here. I've got my electric, there's the looms here. One's got a fuel line, one's electrical. Moving back, single fuel line here. It's got a hot wire from the battery and a loom with the wires coming from the mini header tank. We did change up the header tank on this. Originally I was going to go with a 3-gallon header tank, and we put the mini header in it just to save on weight. You lose about 2 2/3 gallons of fuel, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to attempt to just get a picture with my flashlight up underneath the bottom where the header tank is. If you bear with me. So anyways, that is the header tank. It's got two pumps in the header tank, pump 1 and pump 2. There are 2 feed lines, and there are 2 breather lines that will go up to each fuel tank. Then we've got the filtering system. Everything's plumbed in really, really nice, really sturdy, nice and stable. The header tank is put in so that it's level during flight. Set up. The drain has been put in, and all the electronics for this have been put in right here with a nice little buzz bar mounted up out of the way, but convenient to get to. Then if you look up in the back, we went from 2 batteries to 1 battery in the back. The hot wire and the ground wire the hot wire runs through that lightweight conduit, and the ground, there's a ground that runs alongside of it and goes up to the engine. Now we'll go back and we'll look at the battery. This is the battery setup. If you look down in the bottom here, there's a heavy-duty aluminum plate that's mounted on the floor of the rear fuselage and the tail to mount the battery box to. The battery's mounted in there. Now this battery has a ground that goes all the way up front here, and it's also grounded here with a heavier ground. And then it's got a number 6 hot wire that goes all the way to the front through conduit. Then underneath, these plates tie right into that metal plate on the bottom. I'm going to turn my flashlight on again. They tie right into the bottom through the heavy duty plate right there. It comes through the heavy plate and then it goes right into that battery box. So it is, when it's in there, it's secure. My 701, it's the last model before the match drilled 701 came out. And my 701 does not have the diagonal brackets, or the L's, that come from up here and go down to there. So it doesn't, the only one it called for was right in the rear. You can see it here, running up through. While I had this open, I've got a nice cover plate that's all been set up to go with that. I thought I would just put a nice angle in here. Originally I was going to follow that line, but it actually infringed on the cover plate. So what I did is I moved it up, and I did the same thing on the other side, and it made it nice and solid. So that's that. Shout out to Viking Aircraft Engine. Jan and Alyssa were here for 5 days. We had a little, we had some extra parts that we needed, and Alyssa was in contact with the shop in Florida. It seemed like every day, just needing a few bolts or this and that for the changes. And we had stuff that was next day aired, and because of the Easter holiday weekend, next day air turned into 3 days. So Alyssa flew out on Sunday, Easter Sunday. She had to go home, and she had to take care of the business on Monday. And Jan stayed here until he was here and worked all through Sunday and Monday. And we did the cowling. Here's the top cowling for it. The pins, everything fit really nice. It's effortless to put this cowling on, and it worked out really well. I'm very happy with it. These guys came up and did this in 4 or 5 days, or 5 days. They did what would take me a couple months, and I do appreciate them taking the time out of their busy schedule to come up from Florida. They let me hire them to come up here and do this, and we had a good time. It was fun getting to know Jan and Alyssa, and rather than just talking over the phone or texting or messaging. You get to know somebody when you work with them for 12 hours a day, and we did spend 12-hour days. So I'm going to put this video up of what we've got done. I don't want to run the engine because I've got that top cover open. So I'm going to close that top cover up, and the next video I'm going to fire this up and maybe do a short video of it starting and running. Obviously I can't talk a whole lot while I'm doing that. One other thing, there's a hole in the front for the oil, the cooler for the gearbox. That's just an opening right now. I'm probably going to open that up and make like a smiley face or a sad face out of fiber for that. I also did put the 2-inch Viking riser between the fork and the front strut. And I've got I've got about 9 inches of clearance at this point between the prop tip and the ground, but I do have my back tires are overinflated at this point, just to keep them from ovaling out on me. So they're going to lose probably about 10 pounds, 8 to 10 pounds, which is going to drop this back about another inch after I do that. So I'm going to have roughly between 9 and 10 inches of the prop clearance. The exhaust pipe is in and nice, and I guess here in the next couple weeks I'm going to start working on my wings, or finishing my wings. My wings are all together, and I'm going to get going on that so I can get this painted, and hopefully by maybe the end of July she'll be doing some crow hopping, hopefully. But anyways, if you like my videos and you want to keep following along, hit the like and hit the subscribe button. I am trying to see how many followers I can get on this. I think I'm up to 253 right now. I realize it's a small group of people that actually care about this. And again, I don't do a lot of video editing, so it's just raw video footage. But it's just start to finish is what it is. If I'm editing videos, I'm not working on an airplane. So I'd rather be working on the airplane. So anyways, I'm going to post this video, and right behind it, I am going to post a short of the engine running. So I'm going to close that cover down, and I'm going to button it up, and I'm going to start the engine, and you can hear how it sounds. Until next time, Tom Murphy, Maple Ridge, home of the Super Turbo 701. Thanks for watching.